Our viewers, welcome back to our sessions MuleSoft for Salesforce developers. So this is the second part of DataWeave that we are going to discuss, and as I always say, please do hands-on. These DataWeave is sessions are really important because this is the part where you actually feel like you have coding, but whatever you compete with other technologies or other frameworks, these syntaxes are very easy. But only thing is you need to do hands-on. Then only you will be remembering, how to resolve the certification questions or real-time hands-on experience and all that stuff. Okay, as I always say, please pause and do hands-on parallelly with me. You can see that I hardly keep 5 to 6 slides or at most 10 slides. I don't go through the slides a lot. I always try to show the hands-on part, so please try to pause the video, do what I do. Okay, that way it will be easier for you without getting lost. Okay, so without wasting time, let's see agenda for today. As usual, we will go with the recap of our previous sessions, and we will be discussing about map and map object, reduce and flatten. These are the four common syntaxes that we often use in our real-time projects, and mostly we'll play with these kind of stuff. Okay, so and I will try to make sure that I will explain in a easy manner, and I will give some hints for you to how to remember and all. Okay, so don't forget to do hands-on, again I'm saying. And the last part we will be discussing for this session is cannot coerce errors. This is the common errors that you might face, so you will come across these errors. So to let you know that you will face these errors, I'm going to cover this topic. And probably we'll be having one more session on DataWeave, because DataWeave is a vast topic. Actually it's like a 2 hours topic, but I don't want everything to be covered in the one session, so we are dividing it into 3. So without wasting time, let's discuss what is the recap of our previous session. We have seen how to configure the properties. We started with the introduction of DataWeave, and we have seen the power of DataWeave preview feature and online DataWeave playground feature. Again, those who watched my videos, Ravanlingam MuleSoft Exxon videos on DataWeave 2 years back, I have explained everything using the preview mode, because at that point of time there was no, probably it's 2.5 years I would think. So at that point of time there was no online DataWeave playground feature, but now we have DataWeave playground feature. So I would always recommend you guys to use this one instead of using preview feature, because I can see in the comments comment section that most of you are not able to access this preview, or tooling instance is not available errors. So don't worry about so this tooling instance, testing connection, all are the extra features, but that will not stop you from deploying an application and testing the application. Okay, so don't worry about it and don't stop at that point of time. If tooling instance is not working and if the test connection is not working, forget about it. Deploy the application and then test it, it will work. All right, so again we have discussed about transforming one data type to another. I have discussed that data can be represented in many formats. One of the formats was JSON and XML and text, it's CSV, anything. Okay, we have many forms. So based upon the requirements, we will convert from one data type to another. All right, so without wasting time, guys, map and map object, reduce and flatten are very important, even in interview point of time, or even in the certification questions. This is really important. You commonly use these things. Okay, and try to follow my hints. I have given some hints how to remember. Very first hint you can see here in my first statement is map operator is only used on arrays. So you cannot so whenever you find arrays, whenever you need a transformation, you can use map operator. So this is the small hint, like when you find arrays, you should think like you can use map operator. And map object is used for objects. Now when it comes to map object, the map object syntax itself contained object, so it is easy for you to remember that map object is used for objects. So other thing is map operator, so it is very easy to remember, right? It can be arrays, one is object and one is arrays. And I have shown you what is an array and what is an object in our previous session. That is for beginners. Okay, but those who don't know what is JSON and all, I have explained clearly how to do that. But for now, in this session, now we are going to apply this syntax on objects and arrays. You cannot use map object operator for arrays, and you cannot use map operator for objects. Okay, map operator only for arrays, not for objects, and map object is only for objects and not for arrays. This is like you have to remember, very simple small thing to remember, right? And whenever you see $sign, okay, it gives the value of that particular field or key. Again, whenever you hear these terms field, key, it is the left hand side word. Okay, I will show you again when I am doing hands-on, but please remember field or key are one and the same. Don't get confused. Sometimes I can say like I say like what are the fields present, and sometimes I will say what are the keys present. Both are one and the same. Okay, field or keys. And the dollar is something that it will give the value of that particular field or key, and dollar will give the index of that field. Okay, we will see in our hands-on how to do that. Okay, now first, before doing this, we have to understand what is the purpose of having the map and map object. Now I will tell you. Let me go to Postman. Earlier in the last example, we have seen how to convert from one format to another format. Now let me go to use JSON. Now let me take an example of array of objects. We have discussed what is an array and we have discussed what is object, but there is always a combination of objects of arrays or array of objects. How to do that? See, array means square brackets. That is what I have told in our previous session, and it should always contain values, like it can be like 1 comma 2 comma 3. So this is a valid array. But instead of having 1 comma 2, this whole thing is a value, this whole thing is a value, this whole thing is a value. Instead of having 1, I can have one object also. Here, this is one object, this is another object, and this is another object. This whole object is considered as, I'll click on beautify so that it will be in order. This whole part is a value, so it is a valid one. Again, according to our rules, I told you whenever this is an empty object, it is still valid, but if you want some values, it should always have key value pair. Okay, so let's work on the first object, and then we can copy paste in the second and third object. Again, this is the raw data. Okay, this is the raw data that you want, and we will see what we can do. I'll say like first name colon Shravan. Again, I am repeating the recap of our previous session. An object should always contain a key and value. In my slides, I have shown you like value of a particular field or key. This field or key is nothing but this one. Okay, this is field, or this is called keys. Left hand side of the colon, the words that are present before like colon, left hand side of the colon is called key or field, and these are the values. Okay, first name is Shravan. You can add one more in, I told you right, in an object you can add more than one key value pair. So next one is last name. Okay, Lingam. Next, what we can do is ID, something like give one ID. Okay, and then branch, you can say like electronics. I am from electronics background, ended up in IT. And you can say like country, just we have like too much of data. Okay, India. All right, so now let's make sure. So this is one set of details. Okay, imagine that you are a student of a college and you have all these details with you, and I am not the only student, so there will be like multiple students. So let me add more than one details. So here I can say Apex, and we can use hours. Okay, here we can use, instead of electronics, I will say computer science, and this is from US, and we can say MuleSoft, and we can say TechZone. Let me change this ID to 2. Let it be unique. MuleSoft TechZone, and let it be like mechanical. Okay, and UK. Okay, so now we have different types of we have multiple details of a student. Okay, we can call it as student details. Okay, and it is in a JSON format. This is a valid JSON format. All right, it's formatted correctly. Now the customer, again, customer, end user, client, everyone is same. He don't want all these details to be present. He just want only 3 details, which is name, country, and he don't want ID. He want to generate a roll number. Okay, he want to generate a roll number which is a combination of first name hyphen last name hyphen ID. That is his requirement. Now let's quickly go to the JSON lint, and I will show you what is the expected format. That is very important to know whenever you are working on real-time projects, and if you are working on the transformations, you should always ask your stakeholders like what is the expected format. That's how then we will use the syntaxes to transform into that format. Okay, I'm saying like here the expected format is name, which will be the combination of like Shravan Lingam, okay, comma, enter, what did I say? So I need name, branch, and roll number. Okay, name, branch, colon, electronics, all right, comma, enter, roll number. Roll number, I told you it should be the combination of first name hyphen last name hyphen ID. Okay, I don't want the ID to be, the customer or the client, he don't want this ID value. Okay, he just want it to be a roll number. Okay, this is our requirement. I have done it for one. I just showed you the example what the customer is expecting, but we have to do it like currently there are 3 students. We can do it for 3 students. What if there are like 300 students? You cannot do it manually one by one, isn't it? For that purpose we are going to use data view playground first, even before going here, right? For now what I will do is, let me show you in my transfer message. I'm just using payload here, whatever is there, so I will run it. So you will see like I am passing the input here, and we'll see what is the expected output. Guys, please concentrate on what I am saying. Each word is very important so that you won't make any mistakes. So you have to understand what is an array, what is an object, because we will do very simple mistakes. So you will get stuck at finding what is an array and object itself. You will, without even going to the syntax, you will find mistakes within, like when you are writing your input here. Okay, let's wait for this, guys. Again, I am using Mac device. Again, people who are using Windows machine, it will be a bit slow if you are running, so don't worry about it. Even if it is taking 2 to 3 minutes, just have patience on that. Okay, and if you have any questions, you can always drop a comment. So status is deployed. Now if I send the request, I am getting the same data what I am sending, because I am not doing any transformation. But I told you my customer is asking something, the output should be something like this. So what we have to do now, I told you earlier I used to use data view preview feature from here. I can do it here also, but many of them has some trouble. Okay, so instead of doing that, what I can do is I will copy the input, and input should always be placed here. Okay, copy everything here, paste it over here. I am choosing the type JSON. Okay, make sure you are using JSON. Okay, let's remove everything. So whatever is there, just paste it for now here. Whatever code syntax you have, paste it here. Okay, and this is the expected output. That's what we got here when we deployed our application, correct? So now the very first step is we have to transform this, whatever is there here. Now coming back to our actual topic, right? Map operator is used on arrays. Now first question, is your input an array? Yes, because the outer part is covered as square brackets, so it is definitely an array. Okay, now how to use map operator here? So this is payload, and I told like map operator is used on arrays. Now current payload, when I typed payload, this is array. Okay, which means what you can immediately do is you can keep it, best practice is to keep it within braces so that you can consider this whole thing is an array. Now you have to apply map operator. Okay, so space, syntax is very simple, map. If I click here, it is showing some item index. No, I don't want to show you immediately about that. I will remove that. See what is happening step by step. map space, open the curly braces and close it. You can remove this braces for now, it is not required. Okay, what I have done, payload space map, which is the syntax, space, I opened and ended the curly braces. Now you can see the output, what it is happening here. The expected output is, it is also an array. Okay, whenever you are applying a map operator on an array, the output will also be in an array. And what you can see 3 curly braces. Okay, 3 curly braces separated by a comma. This is the syntax. So whenever you are having, right, each object should be separated by a comma. That is, we have covered in our previous session. As we are having 3 objects inside an array, it is giving 3 empty arrays because we didn't write any syntax within this one, right? Now What is our expected format here? Name. Copy, go here. Here you can say like, again, consider when it comes to DW syntax, right? Data wave syntax. Here these are curly braces. Again, what is the concept of curly braces? It is an object. Okay, every data wave syntax is of a JSON format. Okay, so you should have key value pair. So key is nothing but your client wanted name colon. For now I will not write any syntax, I will just leave it empty. And observe every time you change your syntax here, you have to see the expected output here, what is happening. Right now I am hard coding the value as name and I am assigning the value as empty, and it is giving 3 objects with 3 different empty names, because this number of objects will depend upon your input. How many objects you have, it will show those many inputs here. Okay, now our requirement is to combine the first name and last name with a space. That is our requirement. Now remove that. I told you dollar gives the value of that particular field. Now if I just type dollar here, just observe. So I'm repeatedly saying this part, like observe the output. It at every step. When you are beginners, it is very important for you to observe at each and every step, because here name colon, I'm just giving dollar, and what is the output that you are seeing? Consider, okay, this name and this name are same. Okay, colon is fine, and instead of in this place like dollar, what is happening? The whole payload is being printed. Okay, this is the first object that is printed, this is the second object that is printing, it is the third object that is printing. Okay, that means dollar is nothing but the whole payload. When you are in payload, this dollar is like the value of the whole payload, each object. But I don't want the whole payload, I need to combine first name and last name. Forget about combining the first name and last name. First let's get first name, only first name. How to get it? Dollar dot whatever value key name, you cannot change the key names. Okay, dollar dot, here when you keep dot automatically it's showing here, but I don't want you guys to start using this auto suggestions. We need first name, so dollar dot first name. Now observe the output. I am saying right, every time you have to observe the output. Now what is happening? Name colon dollar dot first name, that is giving all the first names from each object. Okay, now you can see my client will see with this whatever syntax I have used. Let me copy this syntax again, go to my code, paste it here, just save it so that it will restart. No need to redeploy because we are not making any property change here. You can click on save, it will automatically restart. If it is not restarting, all that you can do is you can stop the application, you can run the application again, no problem. And sometimes when you right click and stop the application, you will keep on seeing that red dotted box. Okay, keep stopping it, sometimes it is a studio bug, so don't worry about it. And still our requirement is not finished, guys. Our requirement is something like this. Okay, we are at very initial phase. I just wanted to show you how each and every step works. Okay, so I would like you to do the same thing. So let's wait for this application to be deployed. Okay, my application is deployed successfully. Let me go and hit. Can you see? Now I am getting this output, which is nothing but that is what we are seeing here, isn't it? Sample output, right? So this is the output. Got it? Now what we have given? We have given name. So the key name changed because my customer is asking, he don't want first name and last name. He wants something like name. So I gave it. Now this is first name. Now how to add last name also? So dollar dot first name is giving first name. Now dollar dot last name is, I would always suggest to copy paste because we won't make any spelling mistake. You can see last name. That means you have two names, first name and last name. Okay, I will also keep like first name and last name. This is giving error because I am trying to write random syntax like that. No, you cannot write first name plus last name, I am saying. So to concatenate two strings, we have to use plus operator in MuleSoft. This is the data wave syntax to combine two fields. So to achieve this Ravan Lingam or Apex servers to MuleSoft Exxon, the way to do it is you have to apply map operator, because that will map operator will iterate each object and combine each one. That's what it is happening here. Okay, map operator, first it will go to first object. Okay, first name plus last name, it will do first name plus last name. Next object it will go first name plus last name. Next object it will go first name last name. It will go by the sequence. Okay, right? But my requirement is Shravan space Lingam, right? So you can give a space. Again you can add one more plus plus symbol, add an empty space here. Now you can see you have a space here. Okay, our first requirement is done, isn't it? Done, right? All good. Now next thing is branch. Branch is pretty straightforward. Whatever is coming from the input, he wants it to be there in output. So comma, because we have to add one more field. Again double quotes. Now I will increase my speed, my pace of making you understand. So branch colon, first you just leave it like empty string and observe the output. Okay, now we are going to have empty output because we are not writing anything. Now to fetch the branch value, same dance, dollar. Now again put dollar only, go step by step. Now observe how it is working. Name Shravan Lingam is coming fine. Branch, again whole payload is being printed because this payload and dollar is nothing but the whole object, but I don't want the whole object in branch. So dollar dot copy paste all. Initially when you are there, please always try to copy paste branch. Now you got the second requirement also, which is fine. That is what expected. Okay, now the third requirement is roll number, which is brand new field, just like name. Okay, very simple. Comma, you are adding one more field called roll number, colon, double quotes, empty. I will leave it like that. Now what is the requirement of the customer? It should be the combination of first name hyphen last name hyphen ID. Okay, now he don't want ID to be printed, but go step by step. First name. Now roll number is having only first names. Okay, but you wanted to add plus plus dash. Now it is appending. See, step by step. Okay, that is the power of DataView Playground here. So even without deploying my application, if I have some sample payload, sample test payload, we can try to play around with payload, play around with the syntaxes using this online DataView Playground. Okay, plus plus hyphen. Okay, again people who don't know DataView Playground, just search Google search DataView Playground, and the first one you can click on this one. Okay, DataView Playground license agreement, click on this, it will take you there. All right, again going back to our session. So first name hyphen Shravan hyphen I got. Next again plus plus is to concatenate two strings. Dollar, this you will get in the certification exam, how to concatenate two strings. Okay, syntax is very important. Dollar dot last name. Now I can get Shravan hyphen Lingam. Here I got Shravan space Lingam because I have given space. Here we are having hyphen. Is our requirement fulfilled? What customer is asking? No, because still we have combination of ID. You can add as many as IDs as possible. Dollar dot ID. Now is our requirement fulfilled? No, because I am missing something, hyphen. So dash is missing over here. So I have to add double quotes dash and do plus plus. Okay, let me allow this one and see. Now we are able to achieve. Here I gave only one sample example, but after applying our map operator on arrays, you are getting this one. Okay, this is the expected output. Now I got my syntax by the help of DataView Playground. I will go to my code now. I will stop the application if required. Go here, copy paste everything what you have copied there. Okay, save it. Every time you change any code, please try to save it. Stop the application, run it. Even if you just save it, it will automatically deploy because it is a change in XML file. All right. This should be pretty simple. Meanwhile it is getting deployed, I wanted to reiterate the concept of map operator. Map operator can only be applied on arrays. This is very important. I will make it bold. Okay, map object is on objects. All right, so let's run it. Let's see. Imagine like in any airlines, right? So okay, status is deployed. Now let me run. You got the expected output, what client is expecting. Remember, if you have any flight portal, right, where we want to get only few details, if you have raw data like hundreds of fields, and if you require only few fields, this is how you can do it. All right. Now, before starting this, I have shown you something. Again, if you want to comment out any syntax, you can always use like this one, or you can use, if you want to comment out whole part, you can use this thing. You can start with slash asterisk and asterisk slash to end with. Okay, for now I will type only payload. Okay, now you are having whatever is there in input, you are having your output, and this code is commented out. To comment all the lines starting of the code, you have to forward slash and asterisk and end with asterisk and forward slash. Okay, and when I try to type map operator and select the auto suggested one, you are getting item and index. Okay, for now in certification exam you won't get the syntaxes like this. They might show you in the options item and index in your certification exam. Okay, so what is the difference? I will show you. There is no big difference. Instead of using dollar and dollar, we will use dollar. And one more thing I wanted to show you is map. Let me just use map again, and I wanted to show you something. What is dollar? Okay, what is dollar? You want to know what is dollar? I will keep dollar. You will see the value of dollar. Okay, what is dollar? The value is the whole payload. Then what is dollar? That's what I gave you here, right? To give the index of the field. What is meant by index of the field? What is double dollar? I will keep double dollar. Can you see here? It is giving the index 0, 1, 2. Let me comment this. If you want to comment the single line, 2 forward slashes. So what is the double dollar? Double dollar will give, this is the 0th record. Always the number of index will start with 0, 0, 1 and 2. Okay, that is the double dollar value. Okay, that is the difference between dollar and dollar. Now instead of using dollar and dollar symbols, we can also use like map. Please see this syntax. Okay, what is happening here? So the syntax is nothing but map, open braces, open brackets or small braces, multiple words we will use to define that, and again open one more. So we have opened and closed one, and open one more and type index comma value, index comma value, and after that dash and greater than symbol, and open and closed curly braces. This is similar to this. I will cut it. I just copied everything. Payload, map, whatever you are seeing here, this and this both are similar. These both are similar. Only difference is you have added some extra things here. Again I will explain you this syntax. You have to remember map. First you open and close. Whenever you are opening any braces, it is always best practice to close. This bracket is opened here and it is closed here. Again one more bracket is opened here and closed here. Index comma value, blah blah blah. Now we will see what is index, and just types index. So this is the same output that we got earlier when we used dollar. Now dollar will not work, guys. Whenever using this kind of syntax, dollar will not work, because instead of dollar we are using this index. Okay, this is index. Okay, then what is value? Value is your 0, 1, 2. That means index and value are replacing dollar and dollar. It is not necessary to use the same namings, index and value. If you use Shravan and if you use Lingam, please try to use the same, like instead of value. Now value is giving error because it is unreferenced value. Here I am using Lingam. So if I use Lingam, it will give 0, 1, 2. So you can name anything. Use the best practices to use. You cannot name Shravan Lingam in your real-time code, but always try to use best. That's why always we go with index and value. That will make sense, right? So index and value. So if I say value, no, I will rather use value comma index, because now value is giving value, index will give index. That will give proper naming conventions. Okay. In certification exam, this is really important to understand, but when you are recording in the real time, you will get automatically like, item comma index. Okay, and then open and close the brackets, this opening of brackets, closing of brackets. When you open any bracket, you have to close the brackets. Okay, that is really important. All right. So now here, and what is item again? So now what I will do is, instead of writing whole code again and again, I will just copy these three part and I will see what I will do. This will give all errors because I am not using dollar anymore. Instead of dollar, I can use item here. So wherever you see dollar, go here, paste it. 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 And last one more thing is paste it here. Very simple. So these two syntaxes are identical. Only the reason is, if you are using item comma index, you have to use item dot first name, item dot branch, item dot this. If you are not using this syntax and if you are using just a map operator, then use dollar dot. If you see, my output is still same. If you have doubts, I can go ahead and use the same syntax and run it in my code. So only this part, right, I covered. So here, now you should have a question like, Shravan, when both are having the same syntax, what is the purpose of having two different syntax? No technology, no framework, no product will have two different syntaxes for the same purpose. There should be some extra feature for that particular syntax. Here dollar is fine, but item and index, there can be a small reason. Okay, what is that reason? I will show you now. Okay, this is started. If you send the request, you can see there is no change for now. Using this one and this one, it has no change, right? Now what is the purpose of having index? What is the advantage? There is small advantage here to have it. Why it is? See here. Now consider that you have multiple branches. Okay, for example, this is your input. For now, let's say A, B, C. Okay, because it is hard for me to type everything. A, B, C. Okay, and here D, E, F. D, E, F, and this is just it's not necessary to have every time like T. Okay, now you can see my output currently branch A, B, C. That is fine. Okay, now my requirement is to, so let me first stop using this one. So I will comment out this one, / asterisk and / and remove this commented ones now. Okay, now you have everything like this. Now my requirement is from the client saying that, okay, roll number and all is fine. Branch, he want something like how can I say, within an array, because that is having like multiple, this one, branch. Okay, branch and A, and he need another field called description, colon Shravan Lingam is studying in A. This is his requirement. Okay, this is his requirement, and I have to, and you should get all the branches, like branch B, Shravan is studying in B, branch C, Shravan is studying C. So that is the client's requirement. So how to do that? Very simple. Now you know that branch. Okay, and you are seeing that client's requirement is something like this. It should be an array, right? It should be an array. Let me close this. Okay, and he wants something like branch and all. What I will do first, instead of $.branch, I will remove everything. I will keep array. Okay, open, and what is the requirement? Branch name. Okay, let's say like branch name, that is more sensible, right? Branch, we can say like name here. This is branch name because with this inside, colon electronics. or sorry, now here we have A comma description. Shravanlingam is studying in A. So you can see I am hard coding this part. That's why every object it is giving Shravanlingam is studying A, but that is not our use case. It should be dynamic, right? If I am working on A, I should say A. It should working on B, it should say B. So for that, what I will do, instead of using this, I will keep the empty values here for now. Okay, I'll keep all empty. Here you have to mention $.branch. Okay, now I will remove first, I will remove everything here. What is $.branch? It is again an array. Now question, can we apply map operator on array? Yes, you can apply, because this is an array. You can apply multiple map operators within another map. No, nothing wrong. Here you should only consider about what is giving this value. $.branch, this is the one, and this is an array. So here you can put space map and open and close the brackets. Can you see here? Now you are getting three empty values, and the last one you have only one empty value because there is only one branch. Now let me remove DE here and put F here. That way it is very easy for you to understand how these values comes up. So as you are having ABC here, as you have used map operator, it is saying like you will get 3 values. Here you will get only 2 values. Here you will get only 1 value. It is an object. Now you can type like name, put empty, comma, then description. Okay. So you will have 3 names and descriptions because A, B, C. This is D and this is F. Now next step is mapping that name. Here now you want to have name. Okay, first type dollar only. Okay, when I type dollar, because this $branch is giving the whole ABC values, dollar is nothing but the each value. Last time we have seen dollar, it will give the each value here. Now this is map op, we are applying map operator on this set, and that will give each value, which is A, B, C. So this is A, this is B, this is C, this is D, this is E, this is F. Our this requirement first part is done. Okay, now description. Now if I go to description and say $.name, because I wanted to get name, first name, right? $.first name, I am getting error. Why? Because this map is on, map operator is applied on this part. When I'm applying this part, dollar, this is $1. Okay, this is dollar. A is dollar, B is dollar, C is dollar. But you are trying to, what you are trying to do, $.first name. You are trying to put $.first name. But there is no key value pair here, no objects. These are just the values. So there is $.first name. This is outer part. So when you are trying to put $.first name, it is giving null. Okay, this is null. So we cannot apply. There comes the importance of having map of item comma index. Now see what I will do. Okay, I'll just copy this part. So map, what I can do is I can just open and close, put item comma index. Okay, open and close. I'll put another bracket on top of it, open again and end it here, close. Only thing you need to put is hyphen dash. Okay, hyphen dash. You will get all errors again because instead of dollar, I will do what I will do Control F, replace, if there is an option called wherever you find item or wherever you find dollar, replace item, replace all. Can you see what is happening now? Okay, item, item, item. So description, item dot first name. Are you getting item dot first name? Yes, you are getting. But again, here in item name, in the place of name, what you are getting? I am getting the whole payload again, because now item dot branch map. So this is not having item under, this item is this item which we are which we are mapping to this operator, which means the whole payload. This is the whole payload, that is why it is printing. Now this one we are not using any item comma index, so you can directly write dollar. Okay, here you can use dollar because I am not defining any item comma index. So you can always use the combination of item comma index and dollar to achieve this scenario. Now item dot first name, because I am using item here, I am able to get this one, item dot first name plus plus item dot last name. Okay, Shravanlingam plus plus space is studying in, because this is the hard coded value, plus plus. Now I want to have the branch name, which is dollar plus plus dollar. All right, now what it is showing? Shravanlingam is studying in A, Shravanlingam is studying in B, Shravanlingam is studying in C, Apex Hours is studying in D, Apex Hours. So this is all dynamic. I am not hard coding anything, right? Now you have to understand the concept of having, and you must be having a question, Shravan, should I always use dollar here? No, you can use any kind of names, but try to have use different names. Now I will use the same item comma index here, map of item comma index. Again, you should have additional open braces, and wherever you have close, you have to end it there. Okay, instead of because I have already used item index, you can equip item 1 index 1, and this you should not forget. And instead of item, this is correct, instead of dollar I will write item 1, and here instead of dollar I will write item 1. That is also giving the same response. You can see Shravanlingam is studying A, B, C. So this item 1 and index 1 is the values of this one, only this part, and this item and index is on the whole payload. So how to remember this part? So item and index map operator you are applying on, you have to see the very next left side of the word, like map. What is this? Payload. So you are applying on whole payload, right? And here see the left side of that one, map operator you are applying on item dot branch, means this one. So this is the payload now, and you are applying map operator on these three values, and that is why it is counting. Okay, if you try to do hands on, it will be more easier for you to understand the concept. Now if I copy whole part, go here and paste it. You can copy the comments, never mind. Okay, save it, it will redeploy. And folks, I think we cannot cover reduce and flatten operators in this session. I will try to cover if you are not able to, because I don't want to exceed more than 1 hour session, because it will be too much for you to take it. But I am taking too much of time to explain map operator, because that is the basic one, and if you understand this, you will understand the rest. Okay, this is deployed, and if you send the request, oh, it is giving error. There can be some reason. I'll just try to remove this part, and let me save it. I will remove the comments because it is executing comments somehow. It should not execute, but I am not sure why it is executing. All right, let's wait. Oh, I know why it is giving error. It's not because of that, because we changed the input, right? We changed the input here. That's the reason. Ideally it should work. Okay, now let me send the request again, because we added, remember we added ABC in the array earlier. Now you can see this is our required output which client is expecting. Okay, this is all about this one. Now what happens if one of these values is null or empty? You are not putting any values, let's say null. You are immediately getting an error saying that, okay, cannot coerce errors. Okay, you are calling the function plus plus with these arguments, string Shravan and then null. Because null is a data type which is like, it is not any data type, right? It is not neither a string, neither a number or anything, or not a decimal or integer. It's nothing. So in such scenarios, you have to ask so you don't know what to do. Okay, you are seeing that some of the fields are coming as null. Okay, then you should ask your client, like, what should you use? So this is, you have to tell your client, okay, saying that, guys, this is the scenario. You are asking us to concatenate the first name and last name. but you are not passing last name. Okay, you are not passing, or you just imagine that this field doesn't exist in your input. Okay, this field doesn't exist in your input. You are not passing last name, then how can you expect us to concatenate to string? You have to ask your client about this. Okay, so in that scenario, he will give suggestion. They will say like, hey, if you don't find last name, again this depends upon the scenario what your customer is asking. He says like, if you're not finding any last name, just default the value to empty string, doesn't require. So in that case, what you have to do, whatever for item dot last name you are finding here, put everything in the small braces. Okay, put everything in stop braces. You are saying like item dot last name default to empty. Okay, and this error is gone, but there is somewhere else that item dot last name is being used. So what I will do, wherever is item dot last name is there, because this issue will happen at all the parts, item dot last name. Okay, now you can see here my name is Shravan and Shravan is studying, because I don't have my last name. Apex Hours is fine, MuleSoft TechZone is fine, but Shravan, he doesn't have the last name here, right? So what is happening, I am saying him, this is the syntax, default is a syntax which we commonly use again. Okay, we are saying that, again this can be a question in your certification exam also. They won't give any default here, and they will give the output as Shravan blah 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 blah. Then you have to say like, this will give an error. Okay, I am saying like item dot last name default empty. What does it mean? You are saying that if you don't find the field name, or if you find the field name with null value, please default it to empty. And if you are right, for example, if you are giving any value x, you are saying like, if the field value is empty, then you can see here, right? You are asking him to default the value to xxx, so your name is coming as xxx, but here you are showing empty. That's the reason it is giving still Shravan. But here also, if you give xxx, that will change, correct? Okay, that's how this default value. This is very important in your real-time scenarios, folks. I'm stressing this because it's not that you will get all the data from your client. Okay, you should always, as a developer, it is your responsibility to check out scenarios like this and then talk to the customer. Hey, you are not sending the last name, what should we do? Then he will come up with the solution like, okay, default it to empty string. So that is how it is working, right? So this is about map operator. Okay, so again I am going to discuss like map operator is used on arrays. Now let's go with map object. Map object is like very rarely used, but we will be using for sure. So, and also you have to understand what is the difference between, and one more thing I wanted to show, if I remove this array, it's what is the output? It is saying you call the out function map with these arguments. What is that argument? Object, but it is expecting an array. That is the error you will get, because you cannot use map operator for objects. Why this is an object? It is starting with curly braces, right? That is why. So you cannot work on this. Okay, and also you cannot have multiple objects like this. You can have only one single object. It should be enclosed only within one single place. Okay, now everything fails because you are using map operator. Let me vanish everything. Okay, now what is your input? This one, and your output is this one. Now this is an object. How to know whether this is an object or not? Object and array. In MuleSoft, you have, in DataView, you have a syntax called type of. Okay, type of O should be capital. It is saying object, and if you put square braces, curly, square brackets, it is saying array. That's how you can make use of this syntax. These are small syntax you can always learn. Type of payload. Right now I don't want to use payload, so because we are completed with the map operator, let's go with map object. Okay, very simple. I am not going to explain in detail, just like map. It is very simple. Now that you know payload, okay, payload, here you will have three different things. We have dollar, dollar, and dollar. Three things. Okay, first of all, you know that this is object. Again, you can always use map object. Earlier we had like item comma index. I told you in map object you have three things: dollar, and dollar. Again, the syntax is very similar to map object. So if you understand map syntax, you will get map object syntax also. Like the previous ones, I will use just like this. Okay, in map operator also I have done the same thing, isn't it? So here also you can do the same thing. But as usual, I told like this is not somewhere like we use it quite commonly, because it is not array of objects to iterate over each one, right? But still, if there is a requirement where they are asking you only the key names, right? In such scenarios, we will be using map object. Okay, but I am trying to show you how to apply map object here. So map object, you can find only one object because there is only one object. Now, as usual, what is single dollar colon empty? Can you see here what is happening? What is single dollar? You are getting like 4 fields with the same field names, because that's what map object does. You are trying to give a key value, but there are four fields or keys, 4 fields in an object, so it is giving 4 times. Okay, but ignore that one. Okay, what is dollar? Okay, you can see every time what is dollar, it is giving like first one as 1, second one as 1, so it is mapping something like this. What is dollar dollar? Dollar is giving only the key names on the left side. Field or keys are same, only the left side values are given. In array you cannot find that, you cannot do that using array to get the field names. Okay, instead of removing, I will remove everything. It's very simple. Keep dollar. It's saying cannot. Okay, yep, because object should always have open and closed brackets. So what I will do is, let me find a very good example for you. Give me a second. Give me a second. So coming back to this. Yeah, so map object, let me use this one. So as I already showed you, what is dollar, right? What is single dollar? Dollar colon. So I will say dollar. It is giving the values, which means the right side ones. Okay, right side ones. What is double dollar? I will not change the field name for now. Double dollar, it is giving the values for the left side ones. And what is triple dollar? Triple dollar will give the index values 0, 1, 2, 3. There are 4 fields, right? 0, 1, 2, 3. So this is how you will apply map object value. And if you want to get only the keys, right? If you want to get only the keys, what you can say is like keys. You can do this like keys. Okay, I'll say I want only, so my client requirement is, if your input is this one, he wants the output like only, he want only first name, ID, he want to know what are the field names only, not the values. So something like this. Country, I'm just showing this as an example, but yeah, country, he need only these 4 values. Now, okay, I am getting this one. Okay, I am getting first name, ID, branch, country, which are the left side ones, the keys, but we are not getting values. That is our requirement, but I am getting like keys every time. This is irritating, right? But I need, client wants only first name, last name, and this. Now, this is very important. This I am stating, and this I will end with this one for this session. So whenever you are opening and closing a bracket, so this is your final output for this session. Okay, sorry, final output for this syntax. Okay, immediately wrap that within small brackets or open brackets, whatever you call. Okay, now forget the syntax. Whatever is this syntax, you forget about it. Now consider this as your input. Okay, whatever you have given here, this is the output, right? Consider this input, this as the input, and whatever you are writing after this one is the, you are applying the syntax on top of this. Whatever you are writing after this open braces, right? That is nothing but you are applying on top of this one. So now I need only keys. So I know this is the output, and if I just keep dot keys, I am getting only first name, only first value. But if I keep dot star, you are getting everything. This is really important syntax. They might be asking in the interview questions and all. So they will give you the input like this, then they will be asking you to get only the key names, means left hand side names. So how to do it? This is way. First you have to figure it out whether it is an object or array. You know that it is an object. When you know that it is an object, you should know that it is you should use map object operator. Okay, then you have to know that they are asking only the key names, the left hand side ones. Then you have to know that it is nothing but the $. Okay, and all that you need to do is, so you are writing this syntax till here, you are very perfect, you know everything, but he is asking, he don't want even these keys, right? So for that, what you are doing, you are considering this whole thing is your payload now, and you are applying on top of that dot keys. Okay, and you are seeing only single name, that is because it will take only the first name. If you give star, it will give all the values. This is how you have to do. And remember, just like we had for payload map, here also map object, you will have key value index. Again, I will reiterate, for map or map object, anything is same. Open and close twice, 2 open 2 close. Inside you can write A comma B comma C. You can give any name, but use the proper names. In the inner brackets, A comma B comma C. Come out of the bracket, space dash greater than symbol, space open and close. This is the common syntax. Very simple. Okay, I will write it again for your thing. Map object space 2 open braces. Inside you can keep, because it is map object, A B comma C. Then after come out of the brackets, dash greater than symbol, open and close this one. Now you can write the same thing, keys. So now here it is B, it's not $. $, doesn't work here, because whenever we are using this kind of syntax, dollars will not work. Okay, same thing, consider again, wrap everything inside a curly braces. Now consider this as your final payload and put dot keys. You will get again the first name, and you can keep star mark. Sorry, you can get all. So one and the same. Got it? So this is how you can use map and map object operators. This is really important, and I wanted to cover even the reduce and flatten, but I know that it is like too much for you to understand, but please try to do hands-on. We will see in our next part about how to use reduce, flatten, and some other important syntaxes which are commonly used. Data weave is really important. This is what actual coding part is. Okay, so see you in the next session. Until then, stay tuned to Apex Hours. Please don't forget to follow us on Apex Hours as well as my MuleSoft X Zone channel. Thank you.